Good morning. It is Sunday morning, that's why the dressing gown is on. And this is my me time before kids get up and we run around, jump around. I incorporate them into my workout actually. I've started doing a little bit of exercise and I just throw them up in the air, unless they're really quiet, calm, and having one of those mornings where they're just like, I'm tired, which they sometimes do. About once a year. Anyway, it's good exercise. So I wanted to talk about the phrase, the quote, I'll wait until things calm down. Have you ever said that before? And I guess with this current situation, when we've said it before, it kind of makes you think, wow, I've taken what I could do before for granted, whether that's going to an exercise session. I know a lot of the ladies have been really excited about coming back. And our outside sessions that we've had have been really, really good. Like getting everyone together again, obviously safely, socially distanced, but having a bit of a laugh again, seeing people, familiar faces, new faces. And it's kind of changed people's motivation a bit. There's a lot to be said for going to a place to do it. But there's also a lot to be said for being able to fit it in at home. But this is where you can make it as personal or convenient as you like. Morning, Julie. So going back, if you think about that saying, I'll wait until things calm down, it's a comforting thought, isn't it? Because it almost gives me, if I say that, and I say it, I do, if I say it about something, it initially gives me quite a lot of comfort because it allows me, it gives me permission not to do something that perhaps I'm a little bit worried about doing, a bit fearful of, it's a bit different, it's a bit new. And I guess looking back a bit as well, I remember, only a few years ago now, I think it might have been last year, went to a stag do, and it's like, imagine if they'd have waited like another year or so to get married. It would have probably been delayed again and again. Went to Dublin, by the way. Really nice place. And first time I've been, in fact. Apart from that'll be €24, please. I only ordered 2 drinks. If you've been there before, you'll know what I'm talking about. But my point on that is sometimes we spend more than we think. And this is exactly the same when it comes to weight loss, fat loss. For example, one of probably the key things, and this is tied in with our Weight to the Perfect Time, is that we eat more than we think. And we know this from research as well. Like even dietitians, nutritionists, when they're asked to, if they go to a buffet and they eat as they like, then afterwards people say, well, how many calories did you eat then? Or how much did you eat? And these are dietitians who are trained to do it. Nutritionists trained to do it. Still underestimate more often than not what they ate, how much they ate, which is powerful, right? They've actually found that using paper plates means that you eat less, which is interesting because you can feel the weight. So my point in this, though, is that if we throw stress, throw tiredness from, this situation, perhaps there might be a lot of anxiety, stress around, you throw that in the mix and you throw on top an impact on your prefrontal cortex. It's a part of your brain where we're able to make decisions based on where we want to be long term. So it might be the dress you want to fit into, the clothes you want to wear, how confident you want to feel, the first meeting back with friends in a month's time or whenever that could be, or family members you haven't seen for a while, where you want them to say, wow, look at you, rather than you're kind of worried about going, oh, look at you. And that's not coming from me. This is just chats I've had with people, whether that's I want to be able to say yes to the bike ride that I go on with my family, not be out of breath at the top of the hill. These things that don't give you instant gratification, but they're in the back of our minds. So you're stressed and tired, this turns off on our brain. We're only able to really then see the instant gratification. AKA, that's why cake becomes perceived as really highly rewarding. Food, snacks. And actually we can eat our way out of a situation. And does that make us happy? I guess 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Yes, it gives us that short-term feeling, which is nice, don't get me wrong. But what is the cost of that? What happens in 5 years' time if nothing changes? And I talk about this a lot. But when you go into that space then, and linking these together, of spending more than we think, whether that's on alcohol in Dublin or food we eat, when you go into that space of I'll wait for things to calm down, who knows, you could have missed the opportunity. Or are we going into that comfort blanket of it just makes, it gives me more time. I don't have to be worried about failure, what other people will think, say. I don't have to do anything that's a bit out of my comfort zone. Because when you actually talk through it, and this is why we have a one-to-one at the start of our Kickstart, and this is so, so important, is because sometimes when we're in our head, we go into this as too much. When actually, instead of thinking we have to exercise every day for an hour, could you start with 3 minutes? And if the answer is no, you've just got to consider that maybe it's not important to you right now, and that's okay. So rather than beating yourself up, just know that maybe it's just not important to me right now. Instead of thinking that you have to plan all your meals and track your food to be on track, can you just create an environment where to help you control comfort eating and snacking? Like Bev said, so I got a message from Bev yesterday. Snacking was a key issue. So I feel great. I've lost another 2 pounds, and she's really focused on her snacking, by the way. Taking the time to question by answering key questions. Questions along the lines of, am I hungry? How am I feeling right now? How will I feel after snacking? How much would I need to eat to be happily satisfied? Because sometimes we think that there's a certain amount we need to eat to be happily satisfied, but even if I eat 10 biscuits, I'm sometimes not happily satisfied. Isn't it interesting? So what could I do instead that would make me happily satisfied? What feeling am I looking for? Because often we eat for a feeling. So if you get the feeling, what can you do that also gives you that feeling? And actually gives you that sense of achievement after, almost like a restfulness thing. So sometimes people will snack because it feels like we're doing something. It feels like we're doing something so we don't feel guilty doing it. Ever get that? Let me know. So here's what Bev said. I've noticed a difference in my energy levels. I've lost another 2 pounds. I'm on magnesium and now not having the cramps which were painful. I'm also so pleased with my eating. Now I don't snack at all. By the time I question myself and answer myself, and this sounds so simple, but if you're into a habit of snacking, picking, and you feel like you eat and it's already done, it was like out of your control, you need to have a prompt somewhere. So we talk about benefits cards a lot, having a benefits card in the area where maybe you go to on that autopilot, where you can see the benefits of long term. Like I talked about, the prefrontal cortex dampens down where you want to be long term, whether it's the clothes you want to wear, whether it's that meeting you want to go into with confidence, whether it's feeling less out of breath climbing the stairs, whether it's your health, whatever it is. By the time I question myself, I have gone off the idea anyway. I would like to say a massive thank you because I feel so much better and learned so much. Now, of course, this isn't a quick fix because there will be times now where Bev feels less inspired, 100%. There'll be times where she does maybe snack more than she wants to. But the thing that I know is that the voice in your head that will tell you to do that loves a bit of turmoil, like this current situation, like things going a bit wrong, to give us a reason to say and justify, I'll leave it till things are a bit calmer. And it gives us that comfort. But when you just ask the question, is that actually what you want? Is that actually what you want? Or am I going into that questioning because it just gives me a bit of comfort? That is pretty much all I've got today. It was in my mind after a few conversations yesterday. So, speaking of which, if you would like to discuss our 28-day Kickstart program, send me a message. I'll get you the details. This is for ladies over 40. You can do this completely online from home, or you can train with us in Marlborough and Devizes too. And we have one starting this week coming, another one starting the week after. Exciting times. as things open back up a bit. Morning, Linda. So, any questions, do let me know. Have a great Sunday. Let me know, give me a hi or a replay in the comments to let me know that you watched, or if you listened on podcast, give me a rating and review so I can help more people. Take care and speak soon.